price elasticity of demand. Before I explain this concept, I would like to examine what demand is. Demand is simply the quantity of goods and services a consumer is willing and able to buy at a given price and at a particular period of time. But for the sake of this class, I want to restrict my analysis to price elasticity of demand. Now, I will base the analysis on two assumptions. One, the good involved is a normal good. Two, the consumer is rational. Now, these are the two basic assumptions for this analysis. This implies that the consumer will always buy more at a lower price and less at a higher price. For instance, if a commodity price increases from 4 to 5, in response, quality demand drops from 20 to 10. It is clear that as a result of increase in price, quantity demand drops from 20 to 10. In that case, we can present our demand curve as follows. This is the price axis. This is the quantity axis. At 4, quantity demand is 20. With increase in price to 5, quantity demand drops to 10. Then we have our demand curve. This is a typical graph of demand curve for a normal good. Now let us examine the concept of price elasticity of demand. This is an expression of how demand responds to its own price. Now, there are various ways by which demand responds to its own price. The first scenario is known as elastic, meaning that demand responds more to changes in its own price. For instance, if as a result of price increase from 4 to 5, quantity demand drops from 20 to 10, we can see that demand responds more to change in price. Change in price 1, change in demand 10. We can see that demand responds more to change in price, or little increase in price brings about more decrease in quantity demanded. We can see when little increase in price brings about more decrease in quantity demanded, we conclude that such product is price elastic. And we can represent this on a graph. These are price axis, this is the quantity axis. When price is 4, quantity is 20. With little increase in price to 5, quantity drops to 10. Then the demand curve for a product that is price elastic is almost horizontal. This is the demand curve for a product that is price elastic. Now let us examine perfectly price elastic. This is the extreme case of elastic. When a product is perfectly price elastic, it shows that the seller does not have market power, because when the product is elastic, a little increase in price reduces quantity demand drastically. when it is perfectly price elastic, an insignificant increase in price, let's say from 4 to 4.00000001, which is insignificant. An insignificant increase in price would bring about zero demand. By increasing price from 4 to 4.0000, which is not significant, demand will crash to 0. This is an indication that when a product is perfectly price elastic, any attempt to increase price, even if it is not significant, demand will drop to 0. A graphical illustration of that is price axis, quantity axis. When price is 4, quantity is, any attempt to increase price to any insignificant amount, quantity will drop to 0. As such, the graph for perfectly price elastic is horizontal, which is the extreme case of price elastic. The third scenario, inelastic. Inelastic is the direct opposite of elastic, that is, more increase in price and less decrease in quantity demanded. We can illustrate that using the following hypothetical figure: price, quantity. That is, if price increases from 10 to 20, because the product is inelastic, demand will not respond to it more. We can have a minimal drop in demand. When more increase in price, which is 10 to 20, 10, brings about less decrease in quantity demanded, 1, then the product is price inelastic. We can represent this on a graph. Price axis, quantity axis. When price is 10, quantity is 5. And with significant increase in price to 20, quantity is 4. So it is clear that the curve of a price inelastic product is almost vertical. So the extreme case of inelastic is perfectly inelastic. For perfectly inelastic, irrespective of increase in price, let's say 10 to 30, the quantity demand will remain the same, 5, which is the extreme case of this. Here we have minimal drop in quantity demand, that's little drop in quantity demand. However, we have zero drop in quantity demand, that is, demand remains the same if the product is perfectly inelastic. Then we can present this on a graph as follows. This is our price axis, this is the quantity axis. We can see that at 10, quantity is 5, and at 30, quantity is also 5. Then the curve for a product that is perfectly price inelastic is vertical.